Get that nose up. There you go. Welcome to the shop. You know how much I love these FMS Rangers. I've had a bunch of them. Love flying them. Love helping people learn how to fly on them. Got that, a lot of videos on them. The thing that makes this plane even more fun to fly is when you add floats. And so in this video, I'm going to go through that process of installing the floats, flying the plane. Some of the things, the plane flies different with floats. All of them do, right? And so I just, from a beginner perspective, want to highlight some things that you got to watch out for. Go through, fly, cruise around. It's just a blast. There's nothing more fun. Well, there's a lot of things more fun, but a lot of fun just doing touch and goes, landing on the water, taking off, just cruising around. Great fun. If you like these videos, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Doesn't cost you anything, and it just promotes my videos. If you're interested in the plane, and I highly recommend getting the plane with the floats. You'll save some money if you do that. In the link below is a link to the plane with floats and a discount code if you're so inclined to buy one. So stick around. We'll go through the process. All right, let's do the installation of these floats. First, you have to assemble them. The documentation and the manual, it's excellent. Gives you everything you need to know about putting these things together. A couple things. I wrapped the wire or the lead around the strut and zip tied it. If you want to take off the nose wheel, I highly recommend you making a couple marks on the basically on the push rod configuration and the front of the landing gear. So when you reassemble it, you know how it all goes together. As far as attaching the floats to the fuselage, it's pretty simple. It's basically kind of like putting together the, putting on the landing gear, but you'll have these two little clips, and those little clips fit on the front, and they just screw on, simple as can be. To make the float rudder work, you're going to have a Y cable. Part of the Y cable goes your receiver. The other then splits off. One is going to go right there through that little opening in the bottom of the fuse. The other is going to go into the Reflex V3 gyro. Few things to note when flying with the floats. One, your plane's going to be a lot heavier. It's not going to maneuver as well. It's going to require a lot more speed on the turns. Two, if you're flying in wind, when you turn your plane sideways or trying to land in crosswind, there's a good chance you might flip the thing over. And or as just taxiing around, this is where having some reverse thrust is handy as well. So if you get pushed into a bush, you can at least back out of it. A couple things to note about where I'm flying. One, it's a 2-acre pond. It's pretty big, but I will say that your depth perception where you think everything's going to be fine and then you run into a tree. So really be conscious of where your plane is. The second thing is right above me right there, there's actually power lines. You can kind of tell in this video. That's why I'm kind of flying a little low right in front of me. Anyway, fun to do, just cruise around. Just remember, when you're flying with this extra weight, the plane doesn't float like it does without it. So your aerobatic maneuvers, your sharp turns, things like that, it's going to lose altitude a little bit quicker. So just be cautious of that. But other than that, your landings and everything pretty much the same. Nose up, and there she goes. Takes a lot of throttle to get her up on this one.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Every plane's a little different on how they're going to respond to flying off water, and the pontoons and all. I mean, she will do loops. She'll do pretty much everything you want her to do. It's just different. Try to come in for a perfect landing. A little fast. Boy, the rudder does a great job. Really like the integrated setup they have.
3 minutes.
Wish more planes would come with that. Some use different systems. Some use cables. I think this integrated system's the best. I've heard that the servo can get wet and has to be replaced, which means digging into the pontoon. Oh, kick over. Carrying speed. Little rudder in these turns. Coordinate it. Just looks better. Hold off, hold off. There we go.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
The cows don't seem to mind. One thing I did do is take off the front wheel, as you saw. And I think that helps. I think it just looks better, frankly. Not hard to do. Kind of like I described in the installation video.
Time remaining 1 minute. Twenty seconds.
Just fun to cruise
Time
around.
expired.
Alright, timer says we're done, but I know we got a lot more in it, and I have a voltage alarm, but let's bring her in anyway.